Let's get right into it and talk about your future. And I don't mean in some far-off, maybe one day kind of way. I mean the very real, very near future where your professional skills might just become obsolete. This isn't some distant problem anymore. This is coming for your career, right now. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some scary headline or hype. This quote comes from one of the people who's actually building this new world. And what it describes is a fundamental shift, a phase transition that we are all living through. The old rulebook is being thrown out, and believe me, the stakes could not be higher.
Okay, so let's break this down. Think of this as your personal career briefing for an economy that's, well, it's changing faster than any of us can really keep up with. This isn't just another explainer. Consider this your essential guide for navigating a truly seismic economic shift.
To really get a grip on what's happening right now, we got to look back, because it turns out there's a pattern. 4 times in the last 10,000 years, the very foundation of how we create economic value has been completely flipped on its head. And each time, the world wasn't just changed a little, it was totally remade.
For, pretty much all of human history, the logic was super simple, almost brutal, really. If you controlled the land, you controlled everything. Pharaohs, Roman emperors, their power was measured in fields of wheat. Your value was literally tied to the soil you could work.
And then, a few hundred years ago, bam! The first great inversion hits. Suddenly, a single factory with a steam engine was worth more than thousands and thousands of acres. Power didn't come from what you owned anymore, but from what you could organize. It shifted from static dirt to dynamic systems.
Fast forward to the 20th century, and boom, it happens again. The little transistor, the computer, they started making pure physical labor, well, less valuable. Value shifted once more, not to the people working the assembly lines, but to those who owned the new machinery, the software, the algorithms, the networks.
And that brings us right here, right now, to the fourth and final inversion. See, for all of history, intelligence was something you did, right? It was locked inside your head, it was a form of labor. But now, for the very first time, intelligence is becoming a form of capital, something that can be copied, pasted, and improves on its own. This, my friends, is the intelligence inversion.
In all those other big shifts, we always had a move to make. When the farms got automated, we went to the factories. When the factories got automated, we became knowledge workers. But this time is different. The old playbook of just learning a new skill, it's not going to work.
And here's the absolute game changer. We're not just competing with something faster or smarter. We're competing with a whole new kind of labor. See, for all of history, work was done by things that had to eat. Metabolic engines. That's us. We need food, water, sleep. But AI, robots, they're non-metabolic. All they need is a plug in the wall. And when you lay it out side by side, it's just a total mismatch, right? Our brain power is limited by our biology. Theirs is basically uncapped. We learn pretty slowly. They improve on themselves over and over again. And the kicker? We are expensive to keep alive. Their cost is just plummeting towards zero. This isn't a fair fight. We're facing a different category of competitor altogether.
And that really gets to the heart of it. This is why this fourth inversion is the final one. We've run out of rungs on the ladder to climb. When our hands were replaced, we pivoted to our minds. But when our minds are outcompeted, where do we pivot to next?
So, what happens next? When the whole system just breaks? Well, it's not as random as you might think. It's kind of like when supercooled water suddenly snaps into ice. Our entire civilization is about to snap into one of only 3 possible stable shapes. That's it. 3 possible futures.
Yeah, the technical term for these are attractor states. You can think of them like valleys in a landscape. Right now, we're like a ball rolling around on a chaotic hilltop, but eventually we have to roll down into one of those valleys. These aren't just predictions, it's more like the physics of our future.
Okay, path number 1. And honestly, this is the default path. This is what happens if we just let things happen. It's called digital feudalism. A handful of giant companies own the AI, and everyone else? We got a universal basic income. Just enough to keep us shopping, but not enough to give us any real power. And the scary part? It'll feel comfortable. A cozy cage built just for you.
Path number 2 is the one born out of fear, the great fragmentation. Nations totally freak out. They build their own walled-off AIs, they shut down their internets from the rest of the world, and we basically enter a new Cold War. But this time, it's fought with algorithms, not nukes. All the open global collaboration that got us here, gone, replaced by paranoia.
And that leaves path number 3, the wisdom path. This is the hard one, because we actually have to choose it. We call it human symbiosis. We intentionally build systems where AI doesn't replace us, it amplifies us. A future where intelligence isn't a weapon owned by a few, but a shared resource, like a public library for the mind.
So, there you have it. Those are the only 3 stable outcomes: a comfy cage, a paranoid fortress, or a genuine partnership. This is the choice of our century. Everything you see right now, all the chaos, the headlines, the politics, it's just the messy, unstable transition period before we fall into one of those 3 states.
Wow, I know. That's a pretty stark choice. It's easy to feel kind of small in the face of all that. But here's the flip side. This exact crisis is what reveals our new purpose. If being a worker is no longer our main role, then what is humanity's new job description?
And maybe this is the biggest mind shift of all. The machines haven't just taken our jobs, they've freed us from the lie that we are our jobs. This isn't just an employment crisis, it's a huge opportunity to figure out what it actually means to be human when we're not just cogs in an economic machine.
So what does that look like? What are these new jobs? Well, you could call them the arts of being human. Think about it. In a world drowning in AI-generated information, we'll need creators of meaning to find the wisdom in all that data. In a world of infinite distraction, we'll need architects of attention. And as things get more and more virtual, we'll need reality anchors to keep us connected to the real physical world.
And ultimately, this is our new role. You've got AI, this incredibly powerful engine that can do almost anything. It's like a rocket ship. But a rocket ship without a destination is just a bomb. Humanity, we become the alignment layer. We are the compass. We provide the values, the ethics, the purpose. We tell the rocket ship where it should go.
So you see, this huge civilizational choice, it really comes down to a personal one. The machines can do all the heavy lifting, the sorting, the executing, but we're the gardeners. We're the ones who decide what a beautiful world even looks like. So I'll leave you with this question. In this new world that AI is building, what garden will you choose to grow?